Chapter 9, Chapter 6, a Tradoc pamphlet 604, initial entry. The shipping plug for the primary adapter is merely to reverse the mine to be armed. The peep sight of the arm and molded slight type peep sight arrows located on the top of the mine are used to aim the mine. Two pairs of scissors type of folding legs are located on the bottom of the mine and able to placid on the ground. The mine can also be tied to the posts or trees, etc. The M57 firing device on the M57 electrical fighting device is issued by each M18A1 device's handheld pulse generator. A squeeze handle produces a double 1 positive or 1 negative 3-volt electrical pulse, sufficient energy to fire the electrical blasting through 100 feet of the firing or 100 feet of firing wire that is issued within the mine. The M57 device of 4 inches, approximately 1.5 inches wide, 3.25 inches in high, weight of 3/4 of a pound. On one end of the firing device is a rubbering connector plug of the dust cover. The safety bail is the M57 electrical firing device that has two positions. The upper safety position and acts as block between the firing handle and the pulse generator. It lowers the firing position, clears the firing handle, allows the pulse generator to be activated. The M57 electrical firing device wire should not be discarded after initial use. After electrical blasting can be attached to the firing wire, and an M57 device can be used to fire other devices such as foul gases, bombs, and demolition charges, provided no more than 100 feet of firing wire on the M16 blasting caps are used. The M4 the electrical blasting cap consists of the the M6 electrical blasting cap attached to 100 feet of firing wire attached to the firing wire connection to the combination short plug dust cover. The short plug prevents the accidental function of the blasting cap of the static electricity. The dust cover prevents the dirt from moisture entering the connector. The firing wire is wrapped around a flat paper and then rolled into the form of a package of 6 inches long and 4 inch wide, 2 inches high. A piece of insulation pipe is used to hold the package down. The M40 test set. The M40 test set is an instrument used in checking the continuity of the initiating circuit of the mine. The M7 bandolier. The M7 bandolier is constructed of water-resistant canvas olive drab color. The hat has snap fasteners to secure the flap. The bandolier has 2 pockets. One pocket contains the mine, the other contains firing devices. 2 sets of electrical blasting caps, 2 inches wide web strap, which is used in the shoulder carrying strap and the sewing to the bag. An instruction is shown into the inside of the flap. Here we see the arming testing of the M18A1 chlorine more, the M57 electrical firing device, safety bales, dust cover to test the circuit. Your right shipping plug of the primary adapter, the blasting cap, the pier sight, the left shipping plug, primary plug, the detonator wheel, the arrow, the M18 claymore, the stake, the firing wire, the scissor type legs on the handle, followed by the firing wire to the combination of a short plug dust cover, the M40 test set, the window, the dust cover, the handle, and the M57 firing device. The firing discipline. Hence, the M18A1 mine can be only fired only once. The fire discipline of the paramount importance. The mine should not be used against single-person targets, rather than it should be used for intended purposes. Mass personnel. When leading elements of the enemy formation approaching 20 to 30 meters of the mine, it should be detonated in practicable and to ensure the fire discipline. Actual authority responsible for the targeting selection timely detonated should resist in the squad leaders of their superiors. Control the frontal coverage. For the effective coverage of the entire position, mines must be placed in a line no closer than 5 meters, no farther than 45 meters. Preferred lateral rearward separation distance of 25 meters. The mines are placed in depth in front to the rear. The minimum rearward is separation of distance of 5 meters provides secondary missiles are removed. The distance is sufficient to prevent possible disturbance or damage to rearward mines. The method of fire. The M18A1 can be employed in either controlled or uncontrolled roll. The controlled roll, the mine detonated by the operator is forward by the edge of the enemy's approach for the point of killing zone of 20 to 30 meters where maximum casualties inflicted. A controlled detonation may be accomplished by using either electrical or non-electrical firing system when the mines are employed in the controlled role, they are treated as the same. Individual weapons are reported in inclusion in the unit fire plan. They are not reported as mines. However, they are in placing the unit must be ensured the mines that are either removed, detonated, turned over on a relieving unit. The uncontrolled firing is accomplished by the mine installed in such a manner to act is to cause an unsuspecting enemy to detonate the mine. The mine employed by the miner must be recorded as a landline. Functioning. The electrical firing of the M18A1 is armed by the actuating of the M57. The firing device handled with the safety bell in the firing position provides the sufficient electrical energy to detonate the M16 blasting cap. Detonating the blasting cap into the turn sets off the high explosive charge. The composition C4 detonated with the high explosive charge as the fragmentation of the plastic matrices projects cylindrical steel fragments outward of the fan-shaped patterns of the mine is sufficient waterproof function satisfactory after having submerged assault fresh water for 2 hours. The non-electrical firing of the M18A1 is deliberately detonated for the operating on the pulling, cutting, and the trip wire attached with the non-electrical firing device. Non-electrical blasting cap attached with the firing device. Crimp the length of detonated cord, sets off the detonating cord after another detonating cord. Second crimped on the non-electrical blasting cap, which is inserted in one of the detonator's well, is to detonate the man. The camouflage, although the M18 was painted olive drab, the facilitating camouflage is necessary to prevent the mine into the surrounding to prevent its detection. Only lightweight foliage such as leaves, grass should be used to avoid increasing secondary missile hazards for the rear of the mine. Both front and rear of the mine should be camouflaged with the foliage. The firing wire should also be camouflaged, buried underground. If used, detonated cord should be not buried, however, covered in light foliage. The M67, M240B machine gun. Description of the M240B machine gun supports the rifleman in both offensive and defensive operations. The M240B provides a heavy volume, close, continuous fire needed for the accomplishment of the mission. The 240B was used to engage targets beyond the range of the individual weapons controlled with the accurate fire of the long range, close to defense, and the final projecting delivered by the M240B form the integral parts of the unit's defensive fires. The M240B, the general purpose machine gun desired with the tripod mounted on the bipod supported machine guns for the use of the ground force with integrated into the receiver assembly of the weapon. If mounted by the aircraft of the vehicle, the M240B belt-fed air-cooled gas-operated fully automatic machine gun fires from the open barrel position. The ammunition is fed with the weapon of the 100-round bandolier, continuing the disintegration of the medical split-link belt. The gas is from the firing of one round, provides the energy for firing the next round. The gas functions automatically as long as is supplied. The ammunition trigger is held at the rear as the gun is fired with the belt link separated and ejected from the side. Empty case of the ejected from the bottom of the gun and barrel in the chute with each M240B barrel has been changed quickly as the weapons are fixed in head spaces. However, the barrel has different weapons should not be interchanged. The bore of the barrel is chrome reducing barrel wear to the minimum. M240B machine gun. Technical data. 615 contains the M240B machine gun technical data. M240B machine gun technical data: 7.62 millimeter ball tracer armor piercing blank dummy armorizing piercing round is not authorized for the training. Tracer burnout 900 meters. Length of M240B 48 9 inches. Weight of 27.6 pounds. Tripod mount of the M122A1 20-pound tripod with a flexible mount complete. The maximum range is 3,725 meters. Maximum effective range is 1,100 meters with the tripod and the TE. The area and tripod 1,100 meters. Bipod at 800 meters point, and the tripod 800 meters, and bipod 600 meters. Table 616, the 240B machine gun technical data continued. Maximum extent of the grazing fire obtainable over the level of uniform sloping and terrain. The suppression is at 800 meters, and the terrain is at 600 meters. The height of the 240B tripod mount is 17.5 inches. Rate of the fire to sustain 100 rounds per minute, fired in 6 to 9 round bursts, and 4 to 5 seconds between the bursts. Barrel changes every 10. Rapidly 200 rounds per the unit, fired with the 10 to 13 round burst, and 2 to 3 seconds between the bursts. Barrel change every 2 minutes. The cycles at 950 rounds per minute in the continuous burst barrel, changing every minute. The basic ammunition loaded 3-man crew, the 900 to 1200 rounds. Evaluation tripod controlled the 247 mils. Elevation tripod 300 mils. Depression tripod 200 mils. Controlled transverse controlled by the T&E mechanism. 100 normal sector of fire, 875 mils free gun, and 640 millimeters. Major assembly. The major assembly of the M240B machine gun 1 mil 122A1. The tripod assembly numbered and described and below. See the figure 6.3. The barrel assembly consists of the barrel, flash suppressor carrying, and the handle, heat shield, and from the side of the assembly, gas regulator plug house of the cartridge for the firing. It detects the projectile. The heat shield 2 that protects the gunner from the hand of the hot of the barrel butt, stock on the buffer, assembly buffer, and the spade grip of the assembly butt, the stock of the buffer, and assembly composite with the butt stock on the buffer housing that contains the spring washer to absorb the recoil of the bolt, operating with the rod assembly for the end of the recoil movement. The receiver assembly that consists of the receiver handguard, bipod, rear sight assembly serves as the support of all major components housing action of the weapon throughout the series of the cam ways controls and function weapon. The handguard assembly is not shown, provides thermal insulation, protects the gunner's hand from the heat of the extreme cold. The cocking of the handle assembly, pulling the moving the parts. Reward moves the guide rail fixed to the right side of the receiver. The trigger housing assembly pulls country. Firing of the machine gun contains the trigger safety component. The slipping and the snap of the hook assembly provides means for carrying the weapon. The bipod supports the M240B machine gun in the prone position. The driving spring rod assembly provides energy for the returning of the bolt operating. The rod assembly to the firing position. The bolt operating rods are provided for the feeding of the stripping, champering, firing, extraction, ejection cartridge using the propellant gas for the power cartridge assembly. Feed the link belt position holds the cartridge to the position strap. Feeding, chamfering top of the rail configuration, allowing the mounting of optical electronic sights. The feeding trap aid serves as a guided position cartridge to assist the chamfering. He stops at the time to allow all to circulate around the barrel. The cooling purposes. M122A1 tripod assembly. Tripod T&E mount assembly is flexible, provides a stable mount that absorbs the recoil, improves accuracy. The fork assembly is 14A, pintle a pound, 14B, the transverse elevating mechanism, 14C, tripod leg assembly, 14D, trigger housing mounting hole, 14E, spin spring pin, 14F, quick release pin, 14G, front receiving bushing, 14H. Pintle and assembly slot that provided the guide of the ejection of the spent cartridges. Front side of the front sight is attached with the barrel, can be adjusted for the evaluation windage to allow the gunner to the zero weapon in the sight of the on the barrel adjust for the zero of the machine. Both barrels must be zeroed before the combat sighting. The rear sight attached for the rear of the receiver is marked for each of the 100 meters of the range from 200 to 800 meters of the upper surface of the leaf. The reverse side of the leaf of 800 to 1800 meters. Safety mechanism located on the pistol grip just behind the trigger well. The safety is pushed to the right, and letters S visible indicating the weapons of safety. Push on the left of the letter F is visible in the fighting. Visible and safety indicating the weapon is on fire. The safety can only be engaged when the bolt is in the rear of the position, the S position, and the bolt cannot be released to go forward. The ammunition adapter and use the M240 machine gun. When firing, the adapter allows the gun to use the 100-round carton bandolier. Ammunition adapter is fitted to the left side under the feed of the tray of the receiver. When looking at the left side of the receiver, you will see a slot button under the feed tray. Then the gunner first attaches the bandolier holder to the base of the adapter, inserting the tapper end of the green plastic holder into the adapter. The gun opens the cover. Assembly that raises the feed tray, inserts the cover to the adapter. Assemblies in the slot located in the rail left of the receiver below the feed trap, and depressing the lever adapter assembly, pushing the assembly towards the receiver until against the receiver. Release the lever to allow the adapter assembly to secure onto the bolt button on the receiver. M24 blank firing attachment. The blank firing attachment is used in the M240B machine gun when the blank cartridges are fired in a simulative round live firing during the training, which live firing is not practicable. Blank firing attachment is used in the M240 machine gun when the blank cartridges are fired with the support of miles forces on forces operation to simulate the live fire exercise. Blank firing attachment is in the first M240 barrel. The tube fits inside the flash suppressor with the remaining portion of the fitting under over the outside of the flash suppressor, the flush against the gun muzzle, flush with the forward end of the flash suppressor. The M240B M120A8 tripod assembly ammunition adapter M24 at firing attachment. Okay. The ammunition 240 machine guns are several different in the type of 7.62 millimeter standard military ammunition. Specific type of ammunition used and listed in the table 616 shown in the figure 633. Soldier only authorized ammunition. This is manufactured U.S. NATO specification. The ammunition is issued in disintegrating metallic and split link belt. Ammunition M61 is a 7.62 Army Pearson cartridge light armage target. M80 7.62 millimeter ball cartridge light materials and personnel range. M62 7.62 millimeter tracer cartridge observation of the fire incendiary infection signal and training when fire tracer rounds are mixed with the ball ammunition in a ratio of 4 balls to rounds of 1 tracer round. The M63 7.62 military millimeter dummy cartridge during mechanical training. M82 7.62 millimeter blank cartridge during the training with simulated live fire. Desired blank firing attachment should be used in the fire. Blank fire attachment should be used to fire this ammunition. See figure 634. 633, the M240B machine gun ammunition metallic belt. And metallic belt. The 7.62 cartridge of the metallic belt. The 7.62 cartridge for the M240B machine gun. The Army Pearson black tip and the red and orange tips are as in ball and tracer. The M80 M62 NATO ammunition 4-to-1 combat dummy, M172 dummy, and the improvised blank of the M82. The 6.8 caliber .50 M2 machine gun. The weapon provides automatic weapon suppression of offensive defensive purpose. The weapon can be used effectively against the personnel, light armored vehicles, low flying, slow flying aircraft. The caliber of 0.50 millimeters. M2 flexible stand ground on the M3 mounted on the MK93O mounted the M3 tripod. The caliber and a half of the 0.50 millimeter. The M48 turret type, the fixed type, the soft mount, and installed on the mounts of several different types of the combat vehicles and staff. .6.8, the 50 caliber M2 machine gun. The weapon provided automatic weapon suppression fire to the offense to defense purpose. The weapon can be effectively used against personnel, light armored vehicles, low flying, slow flying aircraft. The caliber of a 50 caliber machine gun M2 flexible version is used in the ground gun, either in the M3 tripod mount with the MK93 mod 0 mount on C figure 634 with the M3 tripod. The 50 caliber M2 M48 turret type, fixed type, soft mount, installated mounts, several different types of combat vehicles and ships. Your first opening the feed tray, cover the placed weapon of the safe, insert the round close to the feed tray, keep the muzzle pointed at the target, move the safety of the safe to the fire position, align the front of the right of the sear to the target of the squeeze the trigger, releasing the firing pin allows it to impact the primary on the round. The primary ignites the propellant in the round. The gas from the burning propellant pushes the projectile along with the barrel of the bolt, receives the refiling of the barrel, causes the projectile to rate the provided stability during the flight of the target. The weapons variation: the 50 caliber machine gun M2 heavy barrel flexible belt fed recoil operated air cooled crew served machine gun capable of firing single shot, automatic capable right to the left hand feed of the all using the ground mounted on the M3 tripod MK56 MOD mod 1 0 4 guns mount Navy MK93 mod 0 mod 1's mounts installed on the M16 ring mounts that serve several different types of combat vehicles. The caliber 50 caliber machine gun M2 heavy barrel M48 turret type is an air-cooled, recoil-operated alternated feed automatic crew served weapon mounted by the M1A1 Abra Abraham's main battle tank commander station. The caliber 50 machine gun M2 heavy barrel soft mount type of belt-fed recoil-operated air-cooled crew-served machine gun operated the MK-26 Mod 15, 16, 17 gun mounts. The 50 caliber machine gun M2 heavy barrel fixed type, the belt-fed recoil-operated air-cooled crew-served machine gun mounted on the MK-56 and Mod 04 gun mounts. Primarily fed when the solenoid requires the 24-28 volts of the DC power or supply. The mount variation, the M3 tripod lightweight portable folding mount that permits high degree of accuracy control of the fire. MK93 Mod 0 mount, the advanced soft recoil for the M2 dual purpose of the cradle mount to be used in the M3 tripod as part of the high multi-purpose wheeled vehicles and vehicle mount of the MK93 Mod 1. The MK93 Mod Mount 1 Mod 1 mount includes the carriage of the MK93 Mod 0 40mm ammunition can bracket 50 caliber ammunition bracket transversing elevating mechanism universal pintle adapter and the catch bag assembly. Major components caliber have 50 caliber machine gun M2 heavy barrel flexible type. These are the mounts. Your tripod mount, your mod 0 mount, your mod 1 mount, and your ring socket quick release. The buffer tube sleeves locks the both latches, release the open in the position permit to the machine gun to the fire automatic unlock position of the single shot trigger controls the firing of the machine gun back plate houses the trigger and the buffering tube. The rear and front sight and the rear and front sights zero and accurately sight the machine gun cover feeds the belt. The position holds the cartridge to the champering the barrel firing to rifle giving the bullet in the spin to accuracy chamfer the fire. The cartridge receive the internal components of the machine gun to serve as the support of the entire machine gun. The retracting slide handle uses the cock of the machine gun flexible type of the soft mounted type only. The major components of the 50 caliber machine gun M2 heavy barrel, the M48 turret type, the figure 636. The cover feeds the belt position, holds the cartridge from the chamfer, holds houses the trigger buffering tube. 3 controls the firing of the machine gun. Buffer tube 4 locks the bolt. The release the open the position permit the machine gun from firing. Automatic unlock position single slide safety the slide the select of the fire or no fire. The M48 turret type is fixed in the type. The M10 manual charge the charging handle. It has a cable with the charging handle for the cocking of the machine gun. The M48 turn type of the fixed type only. The receiver has houses the internal components of the machine gun, serves as the support of the entire machine gun. The barrel has the firing rifle, the bullet spin, and accuracy as the chamfer for the firing cartridges. This is a 50-point caliber machine gun heavy barrel M48 turn type. Your M16 50 caliber machine gun technical data is the weight of the gun is 84 pounds, the weight of the barrel is 26 pounds, the length of the gun is 65.13 inches, length of the barrel is 45 inches, the length of the rifle is 41.88 inches, number of lands and grooves are 8, one twist and right of the hand, one turn is 15 inches, the feed is link belt operation, short recoil, cooling air, muzzle velocity 3,000.05 FPS, feet per second, maximum range approximately 7,400 yards, maximum effective range 2,000 yards. Ammunition: there is only ammunition authorized use with the machine gun not shown and authorized because of the potential injury. Disregarding the fragments, neither the N03 nor the N62 should be fired over the heads of the friendly personnel. Normal training makes of 4-ball M2, M33, 1 trace of M16, M19 length. Normal combat trace in the 4-ball API, M8, and APIT, M20, M19, M9 link. The normal combat mix of the 4-slap M903 and the 1-slap 962. The M9 link not to be used in an online barrel. Note: all cartridges except for the M2 dummy have been plain cases. Note: all M1A1 blankets are utilized with the M19 blank firing attachment. The sights on the M2 machine gun are designed to convenient ball the tracer armor-piercing incendiary ammunition. Slap ammunition is not to be fired well with the unlined barrel. Damage to the unlined barrel will occur. Using the line barrel partial number 7266131. If the barrel does not have the part of the number 7266131 marked on the outside of the barrel, do not fire the slap ammunition. Fire of the slap cartridge at the current sight of will result in the projectile having the higher trajectory and have desired the targets of 1,000 meters or less, or aligning the sights with the target to drop the 2 clicks on the sight, or the transversing elevating mechanism for the targets beyond 100 meters, 1,000 meters, aligned with the sights coming down to the 3 clicks. Your 50 caliber machine gun rates the single shot place of the gun in single shot mode, and engaging the target will aim the shots. The 50 caliber machine gun is extremely accurate can effectively engage targets out of 200 yards or out of 2,000 yards, and change the barrel at the end of the firing day, or if the barrel is damaged. Slow fire is less than 40 rounds per minute, fired in the burst of 6 to 9 rounds in 10 to 15 second intervals, changing the barrel at the end of the firing day if the barrel is damaged. Rapid fire, if the greater than 40 pounds per minute, fire in the burst of 6 to 9 shots in 5 to 10 second intervals, change the barrel to the end of the firing day if the barrel is damaged. Cycle fire, represents maximum amount of the ammunition that can be expanded by the gun without breaking in the fire. The cycle rate of the 50 caliber machine gun is 400 to 600 rounds per minute. Changes the barrel at the end of the firing day or if the barrel is damaged. Authorized 50 caliber M2 machine gun ammunition. You have your aluminum tip armor piercing incinerating red over aluminum tip armor piercing incinerating the M20 and the M light blue crimp and incinerate M1, the dark blue over blue tip the crimp and incinerate M23, the red tip M1 and M21 orange tip M10, the tracers M1, M2 and M10, and the brown and maroon tip of the tracers. Performed in case is the plain tip of the dummy M2 with the before holding on the case, the plain tip of the ball, an armor piercing black tip M2, the M1A blank crimp tip, the armor sabat slap M903, the red sabat, and the slap M962 NRC 134. And that is chapter 6.